Our next speaker is from Greensboro College. Pride head coach Bryan Galuski. The Pride is 9-11, 3-4 in conference. GC won a 1-point game at Shenandoah last Saturday. Next day lost a real tough one at Christopher Newport and fell to Methodist last night. Conference Player of the Year candidate Adam Nicholson leads the Pride with 21 point per game average. Let's welcome Bryan Galuski.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to see what it felt like, because that's what my players sometimes do. You say something to them and they don't hear you, so I just want to kind of reverse the roles. Sometimes I wonder, you call timeout, set up a play, 22, we run 25. I said, I just called a timeout. Why did we run 22? Or 25, vice versa. No answers, but we're working on it. I'd like to recognize my assistant coach, Ed McKee. Mike DeMent mentioned last week that Ed was over at UNCG when Mike got the job, and he was on a volunteer basis. And Ed's been, this is his third year here with me, and Ed's still on a volunteer basis. So I don't know how intelligent my assistant coach is, but we're working on it. But no, actually it's called loyalty. And he's done a super job for me in this program, and is a big reason for the success of our first year last year. And we're working on this year, and he's going to make a great head coach one day. In my short head coaching career, I'll tell you what, Lynn mentioned last year that she's learning a lot about herself, and I'm doing the same. I thought winning 20 games happens every year. Well, guess what? It's not happening this year. We have to make a run deep into the national tournament to do so. And you learn a lot about yourself. You learn to continue in the right path and to keep working at it. And that's what we're trying to preach to our guys right now. Because before the season started, we had tremendous expectations. Expectations to win the league, expectations to fight for a national championship. I know it's far-fetched, but that's what you're trying to do. And we're coming up a little short, and it's based on inconsistency. You know, I was talking to Tom at the table. We have good kids that are playing hard, and after every practice, after every game, they're sweating their jerseys. Their sweat, you know that they're giving all that they have, but sometimes we're not giving everything up top. And to play this game, you have to have both a strong mental and physical demeanor toward it, you know, in order to win games. And it's something we're struggling with right now. We've had a tough road trip over this past weekend, and as well as last night. We were up in Shenandoah, as Bob mentioned. It's 4.5, 5 hours away on a bus. We were lucky to escape with a victory on Saturday. We were down 2 with 9 seconds to go and 1 in regulation. And I'll tell you, as an assistant coach in my beginning coaching days, you know, I used to get upset. You know, I used to be ticked off when we played bad and won. As a head coach, I'll tell you what, we can play awful and win, and it's no big deal. I tell Ed to be quiet and we move on. But the next day we played CNU down at their place, which I thought was going to be the easier of the 2 games, and ended up coming up on the losing end of things. We were up 14 at one point, and they made some tough shots and come out with a loss. And you know, that's how it goes. And we move on to Methodist last night, and we got beat. They came out better prepared. We're not ready. I thought the game started at 7:30, but it didn't. And we find ourselves down 20 points. But you know what? In sports, it's crazy because it's the exact same thing that we did to Methodist when they were here. We're up 25-6. I'm sitting on the bench. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's the same thing that just happened when they were at our place. I'm calling a 30, calling a full. I wanted to ask for more timeouts. You know, I got my first technical foul in 3 years, and you know, wasn't a great atmosphere. But you know, we're moving on, and we're going to try to get after Avery this weekend, who's a very, very good team. Is coming in, leading the league with Methodist University, well coached, and we're going to try to get a W together because we've got to get back on track. Our conference is so small that 1 loss here, 1 win there, it doesn't mean a whole bunch. You got to be playing good basketball towards the end of February, as every coach would probably reiterate. And that's what we're trying to do because we've been inconsistent. We're kind of right there on that, what's that toy called, that seesaw or teeter. I have an 8-month-old. She's not on those things yet, so I don't know. But we're up and down. We got to get level and keep moving up. But we're looking forward to it. And I think if we can get going, I think we have a talented team. We can win some basketball games down the stretch. 3 players to note, I've mentioned before, Adam Nicholson, who's been superb. He's probably, I'm biased, but he's the best guard in our league. I don't know if we'll get player of the year because we have a post player in our league that's doing very well, averaging a double-double. But like Mike said, he's crying that Kyle's leaving. I'm crying like Adam's leaving because I don't know how we're going to replace him. But we're going to try hard to. Bruce Samuel is our second leading scorer at about 14 a game. He's been playing a little inconsistent, but more consistent of late, and he's doing a super job, and we need that down the stretch. But one player that I'd like to mention, I have not mentioned, is Josh Brown. And Josh Brown is an intriguing story because last spring I had Josh in my office, and I said, Josh, you're going to do it this way or else, and I don't want you on the team. And I was going to cut him. And he looked at me and he said, Coach, he was disappointed because it didn't go his way last year. We had a different lineup, different team, and what have you. And I said, you got to understand, if you're going to play for me, you're going to do it this way and help us win. And he's doing just that. We're coming up short in some W's, but I'll tell you what, he's averaging 7 a game and he's giving us 9 rebounds, and he should be commended for that because, like I said, 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago, he wasn't be wearing a jersey. So I'm proud of the performances he's putting out on a nightly basis, and he's doing a great job. But thanks a lot for having me. It's a joy to be here. And I know, Jay, you're going to be honored here in the next couple minutes. But I'll tell you what, it's nothing like sitting by a coach that has 100 victories. Congratulations.